Most games spend months or sometimes years working hard to hype up you and millions of your closest demographic consumers to show interest in their game and shell out as much money as possible before you can even press a button on the menu screen. Every once in a while though, if you're truly blessed, a game will release without the forced preconditioning for free money that's often so successful. One such game instantly manifested into existence during the Xbox Developer Direct event, and without any recognizable characters, current IPs, or a name that makes any sense, it launched itself to the top of my list of best games of the year. It's time to take a look at Hi-Fi Rush. Dive into the role of Chai, your new favorite spirited idiot protagonist who is on his way to Vandalay Industries to get himself a brand new arm. In this futuristic world of robots and mechanical appendages, people still use iPods, and Chai's finds its way into the violent limb replacement machine, getting embedded into his chest. In addition to apparently making the rest of his body immune to extreme trauma, this futuristic chest pod has attuned Chai to the hidden rhythms of the universe, turning his entire life into a glorified rock concert. Of course, Vandalay isn't too happy with this anomalous result and labels him a defect to be destroyed. But thankfully, your new arm can magnetically attract random pieces of metal and conveniently turns itself into a garbage guitar that you can use to fully coolie your way through waves of robotic enemies. As you learn to explore your new capabilities of light and heavy attacks, snappy dodges, and elaborate combos, you'll soon come across a robotic cat named 808 that appropriately becomes your friendly beatkeeper, always floating above your shoulder. But that cat isn't just a cat, or even just a robot cat. It's a connection to a hidden gun-toting hacker named Peppermint who's ready to use your powers and infamy to take down this corrupt corporation. Now you'll venture further into this city-sized campus, enjoying the repetitive pleasure of perilous pitfalls of platforming that gives you the rewarding feeling of having almost no control over where you land. Chai's ability to jump 20 feet in the air while only moving 3 feet forward and having a single air dash to change direction left me plenty of time to contemplate the true depths of bottomless pits. But it's not all about jumping and falling in a perpetual loop of failure. You'll also find your way into arenas full of progressively more angry and elaborate robotic enemies that you'll get to wail on with your magnetic trash stick. Here you string together dozens of attack combos, dodges, grapples, and even call in most of your food-named squad of allies like Marvel vs. Capcom to augment your ass-kicking adventures with special moves. Doing all of this on the beat not only will ensure maximum damage, but also ensures you'll have a high score worthy of S levels of satisfaction. Of course, just like Devil May Cry, even with dozens of unlockable combos, special attacks, and ally attacks, my inability to remember how to do anything cool left me once again high atop the disappointing hill of mediocrity. But even if you can't change up perfectly timed combat combos and achieve orgasmic multipliers, you can still accomplish the musically cohesive majesty of QuickTime events and rhythmic parry and dodge exercises. And you'd better get good at them because they're required to progress through the game. As you make your way through this colorful world, bashing a never-ending onslaught of bots and lovely gigantic face-crushing bosses, you'll also be collecting all sorts of loot from almost hidden locations you can use to upgrade your abilities. Then when you finish the game, you can revisit the levels to unlock all of the somehow even less hidden locations to collect even more items to finally obtain those final abilities you'll never use, as well as the beauty of cosmetics for every character. Hi-Fi Rush, a rhythm game with the high-flying action of a beat-em-up, the production value of a quality anime, and the soundtrack of a 2010 teenager's emo playlist, all for the price of Game Pass. Rhythm games are becoming more common these days, and each game is more innovative than the last. However, most of them really only explore the use of rhythm in one or two ways, while Hi-Fi Rush seems to integrate it into every facet of the gameplay, story, and design. From the foundation of the combat to minute details and character movements in the environment, I was always encountering cool ways it was integrated into the game. Combining that with compelling combat, a great cast of characters, writing that was legitimately hilarious more often than not, and a vivid, colorful world that transitioned seamlessly between animation and rendered environments, it's hard to find anything to dislike. If it wasn't for the general awkwardness of the platforming and the issues with getting lost in the chaos, which is probably more of my deficiency, I'd have nothing to complain about. Even with those small issues though, Hi-Fi Rush delivers a stellar experience that's relentlessly fun and easily earns the abbreviated score of good. If you'd like to see more hot takes, warm satire, and tepid commentary about video games, make sure to like this video and check out my other abbreviated reviews.